What's up, everybody? This is Billy Jack from DeepLines.tv. I'm here with some very close friends of mine, Liz Cook and Cookey, some giants in the tattoo industry. You know what I'm saying? It's an honor to have you here and to get to kind of hear your guys' story and kind of talk about what you guys have going on. You're really big players in the tattoo world and the future of what we're going to have. You know, so tell us a little bit about yourself, like where you started out at and what your studios are. We'll start with that.
I've been tattooing since about 2003. I actually started with permanent makeup while I was going to art school, and tattooing was something I always wanted to lead into, just being such an enthusiast for the art. And then I found the love for the permanent makeup at the same time, and then me and Cookie met, and it was kind of just history after that. One thing led to another, and it was all just meant to be.
I love it.
I love that question, bro, because you and me, you know, we've been close friends for a long time. I don't know if you know how much you inspired us to do what we've done. So, you know, you've been around, you're a heavy hitter too, bro.
I appreciate that.
We started our journey in Australia, you know. We both learned how to tattoo out there. We came back to the US, we lived in LA, we lived in Miami. But we really like Texas, where it's at, you know, people were making money out there. It was good. It was a good place to live, to, you know, buy a house, you know, raise a family, that sort of stuff. So we in 2011 we officially moved to Texas, back to Texas, and we started Rebel Muse. You know, so April 7th of 2012, we officially opened Rebel Muse Tattoo.
Nice. With
a little private studio, and we would lock the door and do tattoos. And dude, back then we were still doing MySpace.
Right.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
For real. And I would spend like 4, 5 hours, 6 hours a day on MySpace, like grinding that shit. And that like faded off. You know, Facebook was a thing, Instagram, but we always like hit that social media hard. As we were doing that, people found out about Rebel Muse. Right. And they wanted to come and work.
Yes.
They wanted to be around Liz, you know. They want to learn that color theory, you know. So we took on some employees or some tattooers, you know. And it just like, it wasn't meant to be like what it developed into.
Right.
It was never meant to be this. But it fucking exploded
quickly
and
too.
It got wild.
Yes.
And almost to where we couldn't keep up.
Yeah.
So we doubled that studio. We had 2,500 square feet, and then we moved that studio to a new one, and that became like our headquarters, our flagship store.
Right.
It's 4,200 square feet in Louisville, Texas, and more people wanted to come work. So we opened North Dallas, 2,400 square feet, and then we had artists like Danny Elliott.
Right.
Like, you know, Danny's incredible. So he was like, Cook, I fucking wish we had a shop in Colorado, because like I've lived in Texas all my life. I want to move. I was like, well, let's do it.
And that's fucking awesome.
We did it.
Yes.
And then the same thing with Kansas City, you know. And that's like kind of been our thing. Like if you're a heavy hitter and you want to like step up to the plate and do something, we got you.
Yeah.
So we did it with Danny, we did it with Megan, and so, you know, right now we're 4 shops deep. We're about to step into like the med spa world with, you know, permanent makeup, laser removal, stuff like that, you know, Botox fillers.
Where will you be doing that studio?
We're looking like Frisco, Plano areas, you know.
Love it.
Probably Frisco. We actually had a spot and it fell through. You know how that is.
Oh, yeah. Yes.
Yep.
So many spaces that I tried to do in Dallas. I was like, yeah, this would be fucking perfect. And then it was like, the city shut it down. Or the fucking, you know what I mean? You can't be here. You're like, fuck.
Well, and then people trying to negotiate and pull stuff.
No, like
and they think that you're not going to look into it and be like, we know what this is.
Right.
It was like the last day for us to lock it down. And I was like, all right, we're good to go. And then they came back with some bullshit. I'm like, nah. So
That's what's up. So you're
Yeah.
you're still searching out in that
Yeah,
area.
we're searching for that, you know.
Yeah.
There's no rush.
Right.
Want to do it right, you know.
Yeah.
But
And you guys do it so big, like on, you know what I mean. Your studios are phenomenal. They're gorgeous.
Thank you so much.
And you have, like, you know what I'm saying, like you have, I feel like you have literally helped set the pace for what we should be charging and where we really are. You know what I mean? Like, I can remember many conversations with you. You know, I mean, people talking about hourly rate. You're like, my fucking apprentice is charging $3.50 an hour. You know what I mean? It's like, why are we not getting what we deserve? You know what I mean?
And
like,
you and me
seeing
talked about
it.
this last night.
Yeah.
You know, we were drinking, partying, talking about this shit because it's important to you and
Yes.
me. You know, we provide quality, and I don't want people to cheapen our product.
Right.
Well, and the longevity that the physical exertion and what we do, putting in a tattoo, we put our heart and soul into it, and then our physical body into it. We got to get paid for it. That stuff, like, that takes away from us. That takes away from us being able to do this for a long time. Like, 10 years, you don't want to just do it for 10 years and then you're done.
Right.
And with the way things have been in the past, that's it. That's all you get out of
Right.
it. And then you got to go do something else. And as this is the most fulfilling, most wonderful career that's out there. We all love it,
Yes.
but we got to get paid for it.
Yes.
We got to get paid what we deserve.
Yes. It's the lifestyle of this, right?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I tell everybody, like, finding tattooing is like, you know what I mean, when someone comes to you and you're like, you have no idea what I'm giving you. Like,
Yeah.
you bring them in, and it's like, you're not giving them just a career, you're giving them a world that's like unlocks every door,
Yeah.
every opportunity you could ever ask for.
All
in
the
palm of your hand.
clients,
Yeah.
all the
Totally.
clients that you come across, and all the stories and everything. Like, you get to be a part of all these lives of people that have come to you that you would otherwise have not have ever come across before.
Right.
And
Right.
that is something that is so amazing that just doesn't happen with all these other professions
Right.
out there. This
Right.
is something that is so truly unique that we really get to take advantage of.
I love it.
And like, honestly, you're big on that, bro. You taught a lot of people to tattoo. You
Yeah.
know, you've helped out a lot of people,
Yeah.
and you haven't just helped them in their career. Like, you've changed their like trajectory
Yeah.
on their lives. You
And
know,
that's big to
it's
me,
huge.
you know what I mean? It's like, I'm not, I want to be a mentor on like a much bigger level than
Absolutely.
just the tattoo side of
Yeah.
things,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? So
Yeah.
definitely helps, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
To have people like us that we're showing you, like, we're doing this, you know? Like,
Yeah.
fuck, I come from Amish country, you know what I mean? Like, and made it here with no schooling, no help, no nothing. Just like you said, I started it small and built it up. Same thing, like, people see what you have, like, I want what they have. It's like,
Yeah.
you don't know where they started. You don't know how it was this big and now it's a fucking crazy empire, you know?
Because people think it's like, you know, it's like a luck, or it's like an overnight, or you got, you know, it just blew up out of nowhere, but it didn't. It's a deadly grind for years upon years, and it's heartache. It's like blood, sweat, and tears to the fullest extent, you know? Like, it's blood, sweat, and tears is like such a cliche saying, but it's
so
fucking
true.
real.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know?
And I've watched you so many years, like, in the beginning too, like, doing, like, basically being her assistant, traveling everywhere, and it's
Sure,
like
yeah.
doing all these things
Yeah.
to allow her to just fucking explode, you know?
Yeah.
And it was amazing to see you fucking go and blow up too. You know what I mean? Like, you guys are a fucking extremely big time
Yeah.
power couple.
Well,
and it's
I
amazing.
had just debilitating anxiety coming up, and Cookie just made it so easy to be able to go past that and be part of the art and explore that. And there's so many artists that come into it that have anxiety and
Right.
have these issues and stuff like that.
Right.
Like, you're in your head
comes with
when
the
you
territory,
do. Yeah,
right? You know?
it absolutely comes with the territory. You're so in your head with this type of profession, but it's okay because we've all been there. We've all come past it. We all know how to
Right.
get past it. We all know how to, excel with this, and that's something that we get to do now.
I love it. And like, as far as like, you do a lot of tattoo education through the cosmetic side of tattooing, through your tattooing. I've done seminars at my studio before that
Yeah.
you hosted, which was one of the best ones I've ever had. You know what I mean? It was
That was
phenomenal.
a very long
Yeah,
seminar.
you know what I mean? It was a very long time ago. You know what I mean? It was like, and you've just always given and given and given. You know what I mean? And like, watching you build. It's like when you get artists that aren't afraid of other artists, right? You're like, I want to create you and help you. And it's like in every way. And I've seen you do it with so many people.
Oh,
You know what I mean?
man,
Like,
thank you so
you
much.
helped my wife, like, unconditionally, bro. Like, you gave same thing. She was like, my wife like running around the tattoo industry doing everything, and like you helped her become her own person in this, you know what I'm saying? And it's like we're forever grateful for that, you know.
We are so grateful to you guys, like what you guys have done for this industry and how you represent and how you just, you know, live up to just being people that other people want to aspire to.
That's what's up. I
Yeah.
love it.
I feel like Dallas is like funny too, because it's like there's a lot of tattoo shops, but the real ones, like we're all tight knit.
Yes.
You know?
Yes.
We're close. We look after each other. You know.
We want everybody to do good, because we all know that at the end of the day, the better we all do, the better we all do. That's just what it comes down to.
And it's amazing to be around, because there's a lot of shops that they try to keep their own little thing and they want to be separate, and then you watch them like you'll never be a part of anything. You know what I mean? It's like like I was so fortunate when I was coming up as a little kid. You know what I mean? Because back then it was like I'm a 15, 16-year-old boy. They're like, you cannot be here. Like, who let this kid in here? You know what I mean? Like, you cannot be at these tattoo conventions, bro. And you know what I mean? I had old timers that were like Billy Naylor and Bo Vernon and like ancient grandpas in the industry, like, leave him the fuck alone. We love this kid. Let him come. You know what I mean? And like,
but that's a part of it too, because you got to respect where we've come from and who has built it before and what it took to get to that point. Because you don't know. You just don't know how hard it was for all those people to be able to like go forward. Yeah,
and that's like what this whole Deep Lines thing is about. You know what I mean? It's like the real stories about who you guys are and what the impact you have is so massive. And you've done TV shows, you've done the tattoo shows. You know what I mean? And like, the real you don't need to be directed. You don't need to have someone, like, your lives are so fucking amazing, and like the way you live
all
and what you
of
do.
our lives are.
It's like we just want the real truth to be told, you know what I mean? For the future, so that everybody knows where this shit comes from.
Our future, but also just knowing our history and what we have come from, what has built up to this, and how different it was before, and where it's going.
Right. And like, so how does it feel for you, like you being like literally by far one of the best female tattooers in the industry, and now seeing all these girls coming up that like inspired from you, you know, like, you know,
obviously I'm super stoked that it's even.
Yes.
You know.
Yes.
And not that I love all my guys, because I've been inspired from all the guys and stuff like that. But like, you know, there's the part of you that's like, it's got to be even, because there's still that part that we're missing out on. And when we can all do it together, again, that's just one of those things that we're all doing it together. We all see it. There's all that different perspective to it. So to be able to be a part of something now where we did get to plant some roots, and we planted seeds, and we're seeing these seeds grow, and people are, you know, coming to us and saying that we have had that effect on people is absolutely mind-blowing to actually be a part of something like that.
Yeah, I mean, because honestly, it's like you literally are, you know what I mean, you're young, but you literally are like the old timer in the female world. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you come out of the fucking gate with art, it was just like, you gotta be fucking kidding me right now. You know what I mean? Like, just dunking on everybody, you know what I mean? And then it's like, I always like, you know what I mean, my mom raised me by herself, so I was like always been around women, you know what I mean? So I always hear, oh, it's male everything. I'm like, I don't fucking get it. Like, I feel like females run the world, you know? And it's like seeing the industry now with all the girls in it. I like it, you know what I mean? Way better. Like, my boys are awesome, but they're stinky little fucking boys, you know what I mean?
Hey, Billy, I love it.
You know?
No, I'm the same way. Like, with all our dudes, I'm like, oh, dude, we're all dumb as fuck. Like, let these girls like do some shit and like see some success happen, you know? Like, we're just trying to fuck off and have a good time.
Exactly, you know what I mean?
Oh shit, I'm like, guys, we gotta work.
But you know, it's just the way it is right now. Like, eventually it's gonna be the same way for the women too. We're gonna be fucking off and just being like, I'm just gonna drink today, I'll go do it.
Right.
But you know, that's just how it is. Like, we have those like cycles of like stuff being out of balance for a little while, and then we get it back in balance, and then it goes another direction, and then we get it back in balance. And this just happens to be what it is right now for the tattoo community and for the tattoo scene and everything like that. And we're just getting it balanced out, and that's all it is.
So what's some of the educational stuff you're about to drop on, some new stuff?
So we're bringing in a lot more color theory and a lot more science that goes with the pigments and understanding how that works. We're bringing in a lot of permanent makeup and the cosmetics and scalp micropigmentation and areola reconstruction. A lot of the paramedical that goes along with it, where we have completely just amazingly talented artists and tattoo artists that aren't necessarily able to get into that paramedical kind of world.
Right.
So we're bringing that back into that and having that conversation between both of those worlds, getting that education going to where we're all educated from the side of why we should be, how we should be doing it, and then the art also. So it's that balance between, understanding the science, the medicine, and the art.
That's awesome. And a lot of people don't know, you know what I mean? You guys are playing a very big role in actually like kind of saving tattooing as far as the inks and like what they're trying to do, you know what I mean? Removing pigments that's would fucking shut down the color and like, you know what I mean? And you guys have done a lot to help keep it alive, you know?
A lot of that stuff, even tattooers, like when that first started happening, it kind of started in Europe. And like a movement, like it caught traction in the US, with the FDA and like some other, like governing bodies.
Right.
And it was scary because they're going to take away like what, we make a living using these pigments, using these tattoo inks, and they're willing to take that away from us. And if we don't have that, we can't do our jobs.
Right.
Well, go ahead.
And there's so many different levels of the science of what goes into how we understand, why we understand how much pigment goes into the body, into the organs and stuff like that when we're tattooing. So there's a lot of science that's getting involved right now that isn't necessarily on the same page for all of these scientists and all of these doctors that are involved in this process, and who's communicating this to the FDA and from Europe and the REACH program and stuff like that. So there's a lot of different voices and not necessarily a lot of 100% science that's making this super solid to be validated. So we definitely have, in the most simple of terms, we have a battle right now to figure out who's right, what's right, what is the accurate science, how do we standardize the testing for all of this. There's a massive battle that's going on right now for that.
See, and you're deep in it, and on top of that, and on top of all that, running these studios and doing all these things, you know what I mean? Like, that's what people don't know about y'all. Like, it's so much more, right? I got fucking cold chills everywhere just thinking about like the amount of the teamwork that you guys put together to allow you guys to fucking do all this, And plus, it's like, you know what I mean? I feel like we got to check you too. Like, remember, she might be an android too. You know what I mean? It's like, when do you guys fucking eat and sleep ever? You know what I mean? Like,
hey,
Cookie's mom is here from Australia now. That's why we can eat and sleep.
I'll tell you what, like, we go hard, but nobody's on Rambo's level. That guy's an alien.
Right.
That's so true.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
When he worked for us, I'm like, dog, you can rest. Like, you don't even have to tell anybody. Like, go and sleep, man.
Yeah, we do sleep. We do actually sleep.
That's what's up.
Yeah.
That's what's up. So, y'all have a baby now. You have a little girl now.
We got a 2-year-old.
I love it. She's gorgeous too. She's
Thank
amazing.
you. Yeah.
So, are you one and done? You think it's possible to bring some more cookies onto the planet, or?
All right. She's wild. And it's like a little carbon copy of me. Yeah. Which I'm sorry, world. I didn't intend that. I thought she could be like Liz. She wasn't. My apologies. She's crazy. No, we'll see what happens.
That's what's up.
I think like we had, our first daughter a little older in life, and we wanted to give her a good life.
I love it.
And if that means just having one and providing like more for her, I'm cool with that.
Yeah, that's the way I am. We're one and done. You know what I mean? Like, it didn't matter if it was a boy or if it was a girl. What we had, it was like one. And you know what I mean? And like, to be able, same thing. Like, we do a lot, and I want mine. You know what I mean? Same with like, they grow. This is their life too. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's another thing for this too. You know what I mean? Like, I want them to. You know what I mean? Back when your grandbabies, I want them to be able to look back and see all of this and like, that's my grandma, that's my grandpa,
Yes.
like the real history, you know what I mean? And it's like, it's going to go on and on and on forever, you know what I mean? And
Absolutely.
For sure. And hey man, we live a crazy life, I don't know if that would work the same with like, 2, 3, 4 kids,
Right.
I think one, you know, we can manage it. I'm gone a lot. I fly out. I'm in a different state, like 3 weeks out of the month.
Right.
And it's wild, you know. So I don't know.
It is a lot, man, for y'all to have the studios, and it's not like you open a Rebel Muse out there in both states and they're not fucking insanely badass too. You know what I mean? Like, so you know you have to be there and be a part of it. It's
you
not
do
just,
because if you're not, it's not a Rebel Muse.
Exactly.
You know, it turns into like any other shop, which is, you know, we're not going to do that. If it's a Rebel Muse, we're going to make sure it's a Rebel Muse. You know.
Yeah. So is it with your Texas? Obviously, you're here. Do you find it? Is it been difficult, or has it been easy to staff those studios in other states and keep what you're doing? Or
I tell you what, man. So you know, Louisville was easy.
Right.
It happened. Dallas was pretty easy too. It took a little longer.
Right.
Denver was, you know, we had some growing pains because it was our first one out of state.
Right.
You know, Kansas City was tough. And
and then COVID on top of that.
During
COVID, right?
We were right in the middle of COVID, and we're trying to stuff it. Actually, let me backtrack. We're trying to build it. Like, oh, you can't get drywall, you can't get steel studs.
Yeah,
you
just
can't get
stuff
this.
being out of stock or taking forever to get there for whatever reason it was. And that's just like what it is everywhere right now.
So we're like, all right.
Still.
They're like, we'll get you drywall as soon as we can. When's that? 4 weeks.
Like,
Dude, I'm used to like next day.
Yeah.
Like,
right.
let's build it, let's go, you know?
Yes.
So we're like 4 weeks for some fucking drywall. So this build out like dragged on like 3-4 months, and I'm going back and forth with a young daughter, and it was crazy.
Right.
And then you know, everybody, all of us got hit hard with like COVID, like
right.
You know, and our Texas studios thrive still. But opening a new studio or a new business in anything was tough at that time.
Right. I can only imagine.
So, and everybody was nervous. We had a lot of people like, hey, I want to come work for y'all, but like, shit's crazy right now in the world. I don't want to move. So we started with a low crew. We had 2 people and we had rotating guest artists.
Right.
And we're fortunate to have some amazing friends in the industry, like Timmy B, Tom Strong, people like that. And they helped us a lot, you know. I was like, hey, Timmy, come out and tattoo, let's hang out. I was like, honestly, I just want to party with you, bro.
Yes, I love Timmy, yes.
So,
avocados and mayonnaise.
Yeah.
we had a crazy week. So we had Timmy, Lindsay, Tom Strong, LT Woods came up. We had this like party week that was like a guest artist week that
I
just
didn't get
honestly
to come out.
no.
Oh, you missed it?
No, I missed it. I was at home with Pitt.
But I can't thank those guys enough for helping me with that, because you know, we all got to like help each other out sometimes, and that was a time when I needed some help.
That's fucking awesome.
And I was like, guys,
and they're super hitters, you know what I'm saying? So
super
yeah,
heavy
you know what I
hitters,
mean?
yeah.
Like, you guys definitely always have fucking like the most phenomenal, like you said, like coming in and out. It's just like mind blowing, you know?
Yeah.
It's amazing to see, you know? And so, are you guys doing Europe? Are you traveling overseas at all? Are you?
Not at the moment.
Not at the moment.
An overseas trip would just be a little bit overwhelming right now, and it's not out of the question in the future. It's just, you know, trying to get everything balanced out right now with the kid and with the shops and stuff like that. And
I feel like, at least for me, like we've traveled like Europe and like other countries so much, and I love it. It's not that I'm burned out on it, but I'm like, many people rely on us now that we need to focus our attention on the stuff in the US.
That's awesome.
Right now, the balance is at home for sure.
I love that. Family, man. That's what it's all about.
Yeah.
That's what it's all about.
And that can mean a lot of stuff too. You know, like obviously, our daughter, our dogs, you know, our family. But then we have like our Rebel Muse fan.
Right.
Yeah.
Which is big. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, about to be 40 people, you know.
That's awesome.
It's a lot, and they rely on us to do the right thing, and you know.
I love it.
It's cool.
I love it. So, what's next for y'all? What's the next show you're gonna do?
Okay, so I'm going to Hull City, Phoenix, fucking party.
Yes, I'm there.
Yeah.
I'm going on a girls' weekend.
Oh shit, that's what's up. That's
Yeah,
what's
It'll
up.
be my first
Yeah.
girls' weekend.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah, so I mean, Robert Hornback is our lead artist at Dallas. And I was like, hey, you want to go to Hell City? He's like, not the tattoo. I'm like, no, we're
Yeah,
going to
fuck
party,
that. Yeah.
bud.
Yeah, I'm definitely not getting a booth. I'm going to just
Sorry.
raise it
Hell
up.
City
Yeah.
is so gorgeous, though.
Yes.
Like, oh man, it's a little bit humid that time of the year, but it's so beautiful in that hotel. Like,
Yes.
it doesn't matter how old that hotel gets. It's so
Yes.
beautiful and such a work of art,
Yes.
all on its own.
That's
Which
awesome.
I mean, that's the point.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
I don't feel guilty because we put in so many years like grinding and that shit.
Oh,
I'm like,
for
no,
sure.
I'm going to party this
Yeah.
year. And it, you know, Derb's done this stuff for a long time. Derb fucking crushes it.
Yes.
He's incredible.
Yes.
But this could be like one of the last ones
Yes.
or the last one.
Yeah.
So I'm going to party.
Yeah, I'm not missing it. There's no fucking way.
Yeah.
I gotta be there for that shit. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? For sure. For sure. So, well, honestly, I love you guys to death, and
Oh,
I'm
we
so
love you
grateful
too, Billy.
to be in your lives and be family. You know what I'm saying? So I can't wait to do a lot more of this. You know what I'm saying? Like I want to come to your studios and we
Yes.
want to really show everybody. You know what I mean? Your guys' empire. You know what I'm saying? So.
Yeah.
Yes, for
All
sure.
about teamwork.
Yes.
DF
yes.
Dub teamwork.
Yes. And like, you know, we've been talking this shit back when Clint Cummings was still alive. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? About us all getting together, and like we've done that. We've kept that.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
We talked last
We
night
will.
about
Yeah.
this stuff, you know, keeping it real and making sure we like, you know, we're not like trying to govern anything, but we want to make sure like we have a good standard
Yes.
in Dallas. you
Yeah,
know?
we want to keep the heart and soul in
Yes.
it.
Yes. It's important.
Yeah.
Yeah, actually, on that topic, you know, we actually recently lost Terry Munger.
Yes.
And that was a crazy thing for me. Me and Terry weren't close, but we would talk, like, maybe more often than people realize about business and stuff. And that guy set the standard, you know, for a lot of us in Dallas to take it to a better level. you
Yeah.
know?
He was like the first really advertising for tattoo studios. Like Cat Tattoo
That's the
commercials.
first studio I ever worked for in Texas.
Yeah, on
Yeah.
radio and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like that, I grew
Yeah.
up with that.
Yeah. And TV commercials.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, and back then it was crazy too, because everybody's like, what's this guy doing?
Yeah.
But now we're like, oh yeah,
Yeah.
he was ahead of the game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
He
Yeah,
knew what he
what's
was doing.
crazy, like me and him had a really big falling out because when I came to work for him, you know what I mean? Like he was in a different place mentally. He was, and
Totally.
he reached out to me. I didn't know he was sick, you know?
Yeah.
And like we haven't talked in years either. You know what I'm saying? I was on social media, just likes or whatever. But he reached out to me and he was like, "Look, man, I just want to let you know, dude. Like I apologize to you. Like where I was in that time in my life." I'm a different person now. I didn't know that, you know what I mean? It was wild
Yeah.
that it happened like that, you know?
Yeah.
And I was like, I appreciate it, you know what I mean? Because I was like, I came here to just be an artist and I own my shops in Kentucky. So I had no way was I going to open one, you know? But he was so aggressive and just like treated everybody so like they were fucking, you know what I mean? So I was like, bro, this is the way it is, bro. I'm out of here, you know what I mean? So, and that was my drive though. Honestly, I wasn't going to open a studio. But the way he laughed at me when I left there, I was like, okay. So then, you know what I'm saying? It was like,
I
he-
know.
even
That's
though,
what
you know,
happened.
yeah.
That guy had a way of doing that to
Yes,
you.
yes.
And like looking back, I'm like, oh, you actually helped me.
Yeah.
dude. I
Yeah.
didn't know at the
Yeah.
time.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Amazing
so-
how that works out.
Rest in peace, though, man.
Yeah, rest in peace.
I didn't even like. I
Yeah.
heard. I was like, what the fuck? You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Sean,
Yeah.
your partner in the Ever After thing. You know what I mean? Like he hit me up and was like, dude, I don't know if you heard. And I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
And so it was like, you know.
It was crazy. I got home, I'm like, hey, Liz, and she's like, what's wrong? I'm like, I'm trying to tell her, you know, because I was upset. I'm like, Terry passed away. She's like, what? I'm like, yeah, Terry Mann passed away. And it was crazy, right? It was just like, it's such a guy that, like, you know, we weren't like close like that, but he did so much for
Right.
the Dallas tattoo community.
Oh yeah,
that-
he
that-
taught
that
me.
None
I
of
mean,
us really understood.
Yeah, when I came here, I come from Kentucky, right? And Boog's the one that brought me to Texas. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? Rest in peace.
Yeah.
But he brought me here and he told me, he goes, look, I got you a job. He goes, you're going to learn Dallas. You'll learn pricing. He's like, he'll be able to show you the real way. Because that was the thing. I was coming from like Kentucky pricing and like low everything, and he was
Yeah.
like, you cannot come here and do that, you know, same kind of way you got. He was like,
Yep.
you're gonna fucking charge, you know. And I will never forget my first fucking week. We all got paychecks, and we go across the street to a little bank, and I'm like thinking, I got fucking paid, bro. It's like $3,000 my cut, and I'm like, fuck yeah, dude, Dallas, baby. And then I'm standing in line, and I'm watching the big artists that he has, and I'm like, they go to cash theirs, and like, $800 check. $1,500. I was like, I walked over to the coin machine, like let them all cash their check, like
Yeah.
shit, and then I went and cashed it, you know. And it was like I learned, like, and really realistically,
Yeah.
I learned that from him. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? Like, you know, it did.
Well,
He helped
and
me
it's
in
such
that
a
aspect, you know.
it's such a hard lesson for everybody to learn, to get paid what you're worth.
Yeah, it's the hardest thing. Like,
Yeah.
that's what baffles me the most. I feel like our fucking career is so amazing that I would do it for free forever. So it's like the kids that come in, they're like, you have to. I'm like, you're $150 an hour. You need to be $250 an hour.
Yeah.
And they have a hard time. Yeah. They have,
$150 an hour was like 10 years ago.
Yes. Like, this is not what this is,
Yeah.
bro, you know?
That's the biggest thing I find you artists on. I'm like, we're going to work on pricing.
Yeah.
And I'm like, hey, we're not out to rip anybody off. You know, we
No.
give you a good product, but we sell Ferraris, not Kias.
Exactly.
You know?
Yeah.
And you're going to charge
Sell
like
Ferraris, that's how you buy Ferraris, you know what I'm talking about? I love it, you know what I'm saying? I love it. So I really appreciate you guys coming here and being a part of this and helping me spread this word and you know what I mean, supporting me in this Deep Lines journey, you know what I'm saying? And like, you guys are huge players, you're going to be in it a million more times, you know what I'm saying? So I'm very grateful for that, you know what I mean? So thank you guys.
We're grateful to be here.
Yeah, hey, we appreciate you, bro.
Yeah.
And Steph, of course.
That's awesome.
Everything that you'll do.
yeah.
It's the DFW family.
That's what's up.
Yeah, we have a lot of love for
Yeah.
the Dallas scene, and you inspired us a lot to do what we do.
Absolutely.
Thanks. So you guys travel the world, you've done many shows, you know what I'm saying? So what is your opinion about Sinners and what they're trying to do here?
I'll start. So the first Sinners, I was all about it. And then we got hit with all the COVID shit, you know, and a lot of us were like, you know, barely tattooing, like stuck in our homes, you know,
Right.
it was crazy. When I heard it was at the Statler, I was like, oh, damn, all right. They'd done stepped it up.
Yeah.
And I was stoked. And Brandon and Susu just like came fucking through with this shit. It is incredible. It's an incredible hotel here. And this is like this is an icon for Dallas, you know, and to have a tattoo convention here, it's incredible. I think this show is going to become a staple, and we're going to see it like explode.
Yes. I believe that as well.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well,
Yeah.
and you know, obviously being able to support, we'll say company or you know locals, that's what it's about.
Yeah.
We love that, and anytime we can put that out there, keep it local, that's awesome.
Yes. And I feel like this is like our version of Hell City.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
this is what we need. Like, the big shows, the swap meet, the big parties and all that, and like there's a million of people, and we got our chances back in the day too. You know what I mean? So I get that, but to be in an intimate setting like this in a hotel and it's small, you know what I mean? And it's nothing but hitters. You know what I mean? Everybody on that floor is fucking amazing. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
It's just gonna grow.
yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you guys.
Hey,
Appreciate it.
thank you.
Thank you, brother.
Thank you, brother.
Love you.